What's up, YouTube? Today's vlog is going to be all about the danger bike. So what I want to talk about with the danger bike is how underappreciated some old used motorcycles are. So I was thinking it would be such an expensive thing to get into motorcycling, and I'd have to get financing, all these different things, but the danger bike came to me in the form of an EX500 99 real POS. It's ugly 90s style fairings, and it barely ran. And I figured I'd beat on it till it just kind of broke, but I ended up discovering something amazing about motorcycles. They're easy to work on. I have no mechanical experience at all, and I just kind of got a cycle manual and started going down the list of things that could break, and before I knew it, I'm pretty confident in this thing. I've taken it all over Minnesota. I've probably put on about 6,000 miles since I bought it. I bought it at 22,000 miles. And it's still just running strong. My first video, you heard that squeak from when I crashed it. I got that fixed now, no more squeak. So really just a little time and effort and learning how to do your maintenance and a couple repairs. You can take an old bike, put it back together, and have your own awesome little creation. I mean, there's a couple things you can't fix, like, well, I mean, you can fix them, but it'd be too extensive. It wouldn't be worth buying a bike, and that's like major engine block issues, shit like that. But, I mean, drivetrain, replacing sprockets, brake lines, brake fluid. Seriously, just bleeding your brakes can make like the hugest difference in like your braking, and even an oil change, you know, sometimes it's just as simple as that. So I guess I'm just advocating get yourself a POS right away if you want to get into motorcycling. It doesn't have to be an expensive bike to bring you all the joys that come with it. In addition, even when you have a more expensive bike, it's nice to have had a POS, because then you know how to work on everything. You know, you won't be intimidated by breakdowns. You can fix them in the field. For my journey across the US, where I'm going to be out on the road for about a month, I know shit's going to break. Am I worried? No, because I've already practiced on good old danger bike on how to fix all that shit. So really, it teaches you resourcefulness, and it also makes your hobby a lot cheaper when you can take someone's, how they view it as a problem when they're not willing to take the time to learn how to fix it, and turn it into your own awesome, essentially brand new motorcycle. Oh damn, that's WRX. So yeah, I highly recommend starting off, getting yourself a cheap bike and working on it. So the danger bike in particular, first couple things I did was I noticed, wow, I can't shift into gear without like slamming on the shift doohickey, whatchamacallit, with the clutch fully pulled in. I took some time, I realized, oh shit, my clutch cable is about to snap. Got a clutch cable, 20 bucks. Figured, hey, why not do every cable now that I know how to replace a clutch cable? So I replaced my throttle cable, brake cable, well, brakes, not cable, but master cylinder on my brakes, my idle cable. Kind of started off with that, and I realized, you know, my brakes are kind of shit. I have to pretty much downshift and use my rear almost more than my front when I first had this thing. So I was all stressed, like, oh, I'm gonna have to get new calipers, all this. I put new pads, and I just switched my brake fluid, bled it out, got all the air out, and it works fantastically. I guess that's the first thing I do if you buy a used motorcycle, is bleed the brakes, because oftentimes it's some asshole that just lets a bike sit around for, like a year or so in his garage, and then the water gets in the brake fluid, creates little air pockets, and bam, that's how you end up with that problem. So that's one easy fix. One that was a major problem for me was the drive chain was completely jacked up. Guys like, oh, you gotta probably tighten the chain a little bit, but otherwise it's good. Well, the chain got tighter at one rotation and then be looser. Long story short, after spending some time on some forums, it's like, oh yeah, your drive chain is completely jacked and it's about to snap. You've been driving it that way. Switch that out. That was $100, but I would recommend just doing it when you buy a used motorcycle that has, 10,000 plus miles on it, because when you start with a new chain, it hasn't been neglected because you're the only person that's fucked with it. And if you clean it, lube it, like every time you change gas, or at least somewhat that regularly, you can keep that chain up to about 20,000 miles. I mean, I've come to realize it's a complete myth a motorcycle is old at 20,000 miles. A motorcycle becomes old at 20,000 miles if it hasn't been maintained. So you can go get yourself a 90s bike that probably runs like shit, soup it up, and it'll be damn near as good as the new, 2000s, like brand spanking new bikes. It won't be quite there because it won't have all the exact technology, but the major changes in technology since like the 90s haven't been that significant. It's more of a style thing that's changed. So yeah, and also there's something to be said just for having a bike that you're not afraid to tear up. So if I had started with my first idea of getting a brand new Yamaha R3, I would have been terrified to fuck with anything on that. But I got the Danger bike for like $600. Not the slightest hesitation in ripping something off of it, and that's exactly what I did. I tore this thing apart and put it back together. And even though this isn't the nicest bike in the world, I love this thing, man. Like, it's my own. It wouldn't be running if it wasn't for me. Like, it creates an excellent sense of like self-satisfaction to be able to take something someone treated as garbage and turn it into something that, let's see, I put about 6,000 miles on this thing. It gets me to and from work. I have saved my car from putting on additional miles, and yeah, this thing has just brought like joy to my life. I think I've said that before, but really just to be able to cruise around and not have to fuck with waiting in a car. Like I said in a previous video, it's like you're waiting in class when you're waiting in traffic in a fucking cage. Like, just being out, being free, feeling the wind, feeling like you're out and about. There's a lot to be said for that. I desperately need to clean my visor. So many dead bugs, and now like just a slight stop at a traffic stop is causing me to fog up. I kind of ride with it at half mast here. I don't know if that's what you call it or not, but oh yeah, there we go. Now we're cleared up. So we can get the Harley guy to wave. Nope. Sometimes I wonder if a lot of these Harley riders are just like brand new bike owners, like midlife crisis guys just getting into motorcycling and don't quite know all the cool things we do, like waving. Seems a little geeky, but I love when do the finger down low wave thingy, like it's like, what up bro, never gonna see you again, but I feel like I'm a part of something. It's the nerd of me talking. But yeah, oh damn, this thing's always parked out here. It's beautiful. I love that thing. But yeah, fucking shitty old motorcycles, man. They got some character. I don't know if you guys like remember your first car you ever had. Do you ever think back like, God, I wish I could get that thing back. I miss all the excitement of the squeaks, the rattles, like all the shit that kind of just went wrong, but it made, you know, and it added a sense of character. Like my first car was a 1997 Audi A6. Piece of trash. I put more money into fixing it than I did buying it. And that thing was garbage. But at the same time, it got me to so many cool places, barely running. And I remember that fondly. I almost kind of wish I could buy it now that I have like a good career and all that shit. Just to like go off-road it one last time and just like wreck it. See, like, cause I'd always be paranoid, like, how close is this thing to just completely shutting down on me? And so this is what I love. I love buses. All these cars, they hate them, but I can just do this. And then I'm ahead of the pack. But yeah, that thing, like, I was always so scared to drive it on a road trip. So I'm like, this thing is about to just catastrophic failure. Actually, the last time it broke, it lit on fire. That's a story for another time. But catastrophic failure. And now that I have alternative means of transportation, I'd love just to off-road that motherfucker and just really push it, like trash this thing. Ooh, hey cutie. And yeah, God, I miss that thing. They probably scrapped it. It was horrible when I sold it. But yeah, so buy yourself a piece of shit motorcycle, fix it up, have a lot of fun with it. That is the best starting option. Do not buy a brand new motorcycle for your first motorcycle. You're gonna have way more fun, and honestly, like, half the enjoyment of this whole hobby is knowing I can fix motorcycles now. Like, shit, I'm a nurse. I never imagined myself to be mechanically inclined whatsoever. But now I am. And it's pretty cool. I'm proud I was able to figure all that stuff out and like be comfortable ripping my engine apart and, you know, knowing, hey, there's a solution to this. I don't have to be afraid I'm gonna break it. Like, I can be confident I'm only gonna make it better.